Voltron Network.
So, shall we begin?
You are now tuned into Talking at the Movies with your hosts, Eddie, Salim, and Mo.
And we are ready to go. What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I'm Eddie Santonio.
And I'm Mo.
And this is a special one. This is one that we've waited 11 years to get to. We're finally here.
I've had to go and watch 23 films to get to this point.
And Lord have mercy, I gotta say it was worth it. In my opinion. Avengers, Endgame. The review. Like, how are we gonna do this? Because
different format this week. Let's just get into it.
Straight up. And this will be a spoiler review, so if you still haven't watched it, one, what the fuck's going on in your life? And two, pause this, go to it, and then come back. And then we can do this.
You have been warned.
So, before we really start breaking down the film, where'd you see it?
So I went to see this at my local View in Westfield. I saw it on the nice big screen that they've got, the one that they call the Extreme Screen. I was actually quite surprised at how many people were in the showing, considering when you look at the times, that place has got so many screens, there was literally a showing every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And for a Friday, during a work day, a school day, kids have gone back now for Easter, I was surprised about how many people were in there.
Yeah, I went to see it in the Odeon, in Wimbledon, in the Limax screen.
Yep.
And yeah, it was packed, 12:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah. That was exact. I think my showing was 11:55. Probably would have started at 12:30.
Yeah, and it was packed. But
did you pay extra for like the VIP seating?
Yes.
For the extra legroom, I think that was worth the extra couple of quid or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like £6 on top of the things. But it was worth it. But it was a good crowd, you know. No riff-raff, no chavs, no teenagers. It was just. And no one even got up. No one even went to piss, which I love.
Oh, I don't think I remember seeing that. And there was bits during that film where I was like, I need to go. But, like, it just does not let up. And you have no idea when you can go.
Yeah, no movie like this ain't going. I'd sooner piss myself, man. If I had a bottle of Lucozade, so if I needed to, I could have sneakily gone into that. But, so, first impressions then.
So, first impressions was... It was just superhero porn, that movie.
Whew, it was greatest hits, I like to say. This was like your favourite band's greatest hits album for the part that we'll get to in the middle. But there's also some new material, an extra bonus CD thrown in, just of new stuff. That's what it is.
It just was like, imagine every wild fantasy you've ever had about like what a superhero movie should have.
Yes.
This like had them all. Had everything.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, it's not even sure where to start. Should we start with them breaking down the movie, going through it all, or any more points you want to get to?
We can go through bits. I'm sure the conversation will just go from there.
Alright, well, first I've got to say that I was wrong, Mo.
You were wrong.
I was wrong.
Was I right in this scenario?
Last week, I said Hawkeye was the piece of shit character that we don't care about. Why do I want to watch this guy? I don't give a shit. When it was Age of Ultron, we were stuck with him and his family on the farm. Yep.
See, it all paid off. You know what? That opening scene, I was thinking of you, Eddie. I was like, this is where you're going to get the payoff.
It did add to it. I got to admit, it did add to that beautiful opening scene. You know what this scene reminded me of?
What?
The Leftovers.
Oh, yes. You know what? As I was watching it, I was thinking, this is like The Leftovers. Yeah. I actually had that same very thought.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, he's there on his, we see his ankle tag. Because I guess from the superhero registration, that's why he wasn't around in Infinity War, because he's stuck on
He's under house arrest.
Yeah. So we see him teaching his daughter how to shoot arrows and shit. And, they disappear. And it all happens off camera, which I kind of like. Because he just kind of turns around and everyone's just to see, like, clouds of dust just blowing. And he's thinking,
it's such a beautiful little scene. And just, like, a real great way to like open the movie and show you like the real cost of like what's just happened.
Yeah, it's all in an open field as well, so he knows that no one's hiding or running away from him. They just vanish. He knows something's wrong right from the get-go. And yeah, it's a nice, because you have been with this family before, despite my objections to it, it gives it a little bit extra.
Yeah. See, they knew what they were doing all along, Eddie.
Yeah, sure they did. Russo's, man, how they managed to just weave this web of stringing all these things together, man. It's impressive, really.
And just hold it all together as well.
Yeah.
And not have it all like just come apart at the seams at the end.
Exactly. We're going to get into some of the people's complaints at the end, I guess. Which I reckon that most of this stuff can be answered.
Some of it probably can, some of it probably stupidly.
Yeah.
And some of it is quite puzzling.
Yeah. So we go next to Tony in space with Nebula. And I kind of like this little relationship they got going on. They just they're playing little games and she's...
Well, they have been like stuck together for like, what was it, 22 days at that point?
Yeah, but you got this half, I don't know, alien machine thing, and she's, this is probably the first time she's kind of just hung out and had jokes and had to be domestic with a person.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice. It's kind of, they're looking after each other and...
The bit where they're playing like the flick game.
Yeah, exactly. And he's doing his message we saw in the trailer to Pepper Potts, which was nice. But I guess this is one thing that people have as a complaint, is how Captain Marvel was able to find them in the middle of space.
Well, did she find them, or did she just happen to like be passing by on her way to Earth?
No, that would make even less sense, man. Come on.
I know, like, the cosmic universe is absolutely humongous, and they will be smaller than like the tiniest of like little needles.
Grain of sand, man.
Yeah.
I guess even though it's not referred to, I guess I could probably lean to that there was maybe a homing beacon there.
Oh, possibly, but again, it's kind of like, how far does that homing beacon go?
True.
And does she have like tech on her that can detect a homing beacon?
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that kind of gets me a bit. But, you know, yeah, whatever. So she finds them and brings them back to Earth.
Yep.
Literally carries the ship on her back.
Even though, I guess they were supposed to be out of air at that point. So, is she able to, like, pull that ship at, like, supersonic speeds? Sublight speeds?
I never really got the sense that they were running out of air. I guess they probably were if it was malfunctioning, but...
Because it wasn't... Yeah, because didn't they say, air will literally run out tomorrow morning?
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, and then they had that kind of thing where he was just going to sleep.
Okay. I don't know how they... Did you notice how emaciated Tony looked? I don't know whether that was him losing weight intentionally or that was, like, effects, but he looked really, like, haggard and old. I'm thinking, Jesus, looks like he's 60.
Well, I guess he's been out there, 22 days without any food and stuff, right? So he's going to have to look like...
Oh, yeah, I get that it should be that, but I'm wondering that how did they actually achieve it?
He probably went on an all-week bender and didn't eat anything.
But he's reunited with Pepper. I'm happy Pepper was in this. It was nice to see her again because she wasn't in there for a minute in these films.
Yeah, she does seem to like leave and then come back and go and come back in these sort of films.
Yeah, but she adds something when she's there.
Yeah.
So Tony ain't happy. He's bitching. He's blaming Cap for the failures, which, come on, man. Considering half of the shit that's happened in the MCU is pretty much been Tony's fault. I don't think he's in any position to be blaming anyone.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. He does seem a bit holier than thou here. I thought it seemed very out of character for him to be blaming Cap, so I guess the issues they had in Civil War probably still bubbling away.
Yeah, they never really resolved any of that, so I guess that's kind of where it all comes from.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about seeing Captain Marvel interacting for the first time with some of the crew?
See, I can't give you an answer on that without giving you more like about the rest of the film.
Oh, that's fine.
It was cool to like see her. You're kind of like thinking, right, where is this going to go? This is going to be like very exciting now to have like this hero on the team.
Dude, I didn't like, because I guess, like I said, with the whole Captain Marvel, I don't like the character. I don't like how she's depicted. I don't like how she's acted. I just find her wooden and lifeless and just dull. So I kind of felt that whenever she was on screen, she just kind of, I just was like, go away.
I can't say I've got that sort of a problem with her. Obviously, she's not like she's not one of them. She's not an Earthling, right? So she has a very different attitude to the rest of them.
But she's human. She is
human, but she's like, obviously she had her memory erased, didn't she? I'm not entirely sure how much of it she remembers.
No, she got it all back. But it's not even that, because back. Nebula, who's half machine, is way more of a likable character. Like, it's not a matter of even it. I know some people be like, oh, you just hate it because she's a woman and because of all the. No, I like all the other female characters, all of them.
But Nebula's had a lot more movies, right, to become like who she is.
Not a whole movie dedicated to her, though. So.
Not a whole movie dedicated to her. I mean, to be fair, that Captain Marvel movie wasn't great.
It was. Apparently, she shot this before Captain Marvel as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she barely even... there wasn't even a script for Captain Marvel yet, she said.
Oh.
At this point.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Shows you how long this has been gestating, man. Because I think they shot this back-to-back with Infinity War.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah... So now they're looking for Thanos. And when they said that they were going to go after him, and then Captain Marvel was like, they're like, where you going? I said, I'm going to go kill Thanos. That's flat out, like, it's a simple thing.
Yeah.
Did you think it was just going to be this whole long stretched out? Did you actually think they were going to get there straight away?
It's like, so obviously what actually happens there, you're kind of like, hold on, they've just done this in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, like...
You're like, hold on, what's the rest of the movie about?
Yeah. I was thinking, I kind of knew from the behind the scenes stuff that they were going to do some other sort of time travel thing, but I didn't think they were going to get to him so quick.
Not only get to him, but like literally, like that would be the end of him.
Well, yeah, so we see him on the farm picking these weird cactus-looking things, and he's looking peaceful.
Very peaceful, like. Doesn't have a care in the world. He's now in retirement.
Yeah. You know, he's limping, but then we later find out that it's from when he destroyed the stones that it almost killed him. He's one of his arms all burnt up, the one with the gauntlet. Poor guy, the true hero of this story. Just wanted to live his life on his farm.
That's like saying, like, all Hitler wanted to do after the war was just live his life after he killed all those people.
What's happened to your microphone? You've suddenly gone mono.
Is this any better?
No.
No?
It's like your battery's running out or something. Or you lost signal.
Well, no. It's a wired headset.
Oh. You've sounded good before now. Still good.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, they all attack the poor, defenseless man. Chop off his arm. Like a bunch of heathens.
Which is what they should have done in the first place, right?
I think that's the whole point. I think that's why Thor is so upset with himself that... This could be avoided if he kind of just did the job right first time.
Yeah.
But they find out the gauntlet's got no gems in it, that he destroyed them, and then Ford just says, fuck it. Phew, takes off their head.
So, normally the jokey character, the one with all the one-liners, literally just brings down the axe.
Were you surprised by that? He just just did it. I went for the head.
Absolutely. I was just like, that's not what I was expecting. I was like, right, these guys... are going on a different path from what probably everyone was thinking.
Yeah.
That it was going to be like some big battle, that it was going to be like some sort of like cat and mouse game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And, so, Thanos is dead up to this point. And we go back to Earth and we kind of see what the consequences would be of a world where half of its population just vanished.
Yeah. So it's 5 years later at this point, right?
Yeah. And things, arenas have fallen into degraded and into disrepute, and people are in counselling trying to deal with... I guess you got to think of, a lot of them have lost all their many of their friends or half of their family, so people would be affected.
Friends have gone, knowledge is probably gone. Like you see, like the city, you see a shot of like a town or wherever they are. It's like dilapidated.
Yeah,
they still haven't put things back the way they were.
There's not enough people to kind of maintain these things. So
Yeah,
makes sense. We see one of the Russos, interesting enough, in the counselling meeting with Captain America.
yeah, he's the guy who's doing the talking, right?
Yeah, the one talking about meeting a dude.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Wonder if the other one popped up somewhere.
I don't know that actually.
Yeah, I never know. But Cap's there, telling everyone that they need to move on, which is kind of ironic considering he's never truly moved on. He still carries his photo of Peggy around with him, and he's never really gotten on with his life.
Yeah, but I guess he has a different type of life, right? He doesn't really have a life. He's just Captain America.
But now, not anymore. Not for the last 5 years.
So actually, that actually raises a very interesting question. What you just say there, Eddie, right? So if you imagine, like for the last sort of like 10 years, these Avengers, they've had to get together on numerous occasions to save the world, right? 5 years after Thanos snaps half the universe away, they've had none of that. They've had like 5 years of peace.
Yeah.
5 years of not actually having to like.
Well, not necessarily, because we do see Black Widow sending people out to do various things. I guess there is still crime. I think she see her that she's looking for Hawkeye, so there's still stuff they're dealing with.
But it's not like the sort of things you need like the Avengers. It's not like an alien invasion or like some artificial intelligence or something like that.
No.
Yeah. It's like Captain America is not required.
That's true. So, randomly, we skip to this warehouse that has a little van in it.
Yep.
And literally, the hero of this entire movie is a rat. Because if it wasn't for this rat scuffling across this control panel in this van, triggering it, Ant-Man would never come back. So this ant should have its own poster. I'm surprised they didn't do that out of a joke. Just have.
He'll probably get his own like MCU film.
You should do. If that cat in Captain Marvel could get a poster, this rat should get one. The true hero. So, yep. Ant-Man is back. And he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. You see him walking around the city and looking for his daughter. Only to find out thinking that she's gone. Thankfully she ain't, but she's grown up. It took me a second to click like, fuck. That cute little kid. Teenager.
Did you not put that together like straight away that when he was going to see her, she'd be older? Obviously, you see that big title that says 5 years later.
Yeah, but it's just weird seeing it. I didn't think she'd be this old. I kept thinking,
so hold on, so you missed the bit where he's like looking at like all the names.
The memorial, yeah.
Yeah, obviously looking
him.
for his daughter. So obviously at this point everyone's given up hope of these people ever coming back, and it kind of answers. I think there was a question before the film. Have these people been snapped out of existence, or just from that point onwards?
How do you mean? Oh, no, because everyone else they knew everyone was gone, so it wouldn't just like...
Yeah, I guess that kind of really confirmed it, didn't it?
Yeah. And he sees his own name, and so yeah, we're back over with Scarlet, talking with everybody that's still around. And we see that Captain Marvel's got this weird, no offense, people, if this offends you, but yeah, she's kind of got this whole lesbian trucker hairdo going.
Right, and you know what? One of the subreddits that I've got on my Reddit is like something lesbians. I can't remember what it's called, and there was a thread about this haircut.
Yeah, it's in the
and
comics.
All these women were loving it.
Really? Lesbians were loving it, or just women in general?
So basically, the lesbian. I'm assuming most of the women posting in that sub are lesbians.
I knew it.
And they were all like loving the haircut.
I knew it. A lot of fan service in this film of various kinds that we'll get to, but I'm sure this was one of them. But she does have this in some of the comics, in some of the depictions of her.
It is just a very strange haircut.
But it doesn't really... It looks like a wig. You can see that she's got long hair underneath it. It just doesn't fit right on the head, but, well... And she points out that she can't be on Earth. This is the one good thing. I like that they did this. That's why aren't you here helping us? And she's like, there are thousands of planets all going through the same thing, and they don't have you. They don't have Avengers to take care of them. So that kind
Very
of
good point.
keeps her away, which I'm happy, because I'm happy she wasn't in more of this film, because like I said, I don't like her very much.
And the fact that she's overly powerful.
Yeah, that too. So Scott turns up at the door, trying to explain the pin part, where he was in the quantum verse, and then he kind of gets the idea about how time works differently. How for him 5 years was like 5 hours, and if they can just figure out how to go back and navigate it, then they could probably undo all this. Then we get...
So, as I say, did you find like their explanation of how time travel works in their universe headache-inducing rather?
Oh, really?
It's not like your traditional linear type, like you go into the past, something you do in the past affects your future.
No, because
this
is the theory I've always had, and we've actually had this conversation before, me and you, where I've actually had this argument that you go back in time and you kill yourself as a young kid, in theory, it wouldn't affect you because it's a different timeline. You can never return back to your point, and you're just splintering off. Your past has already happened, and you can't change that. So all you're doing is affecting a different alternate string theory. This whole thing is string theory. This is the theory I've always had.
Oh, see, I don't think that's what they were saying either, though, were they? They were saying...
Yeah, the past can't be changed. That was what...
So basically your future, when you go to the past, your future is your past. I think they specifically say that, don't they? So it's like, so he's literally saying that they... Because I think they give the example that they can't kill Thanos when he's a baby.
Yeah, because it wouldn't change anything, because it's already happened for them in their reality. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you can't change it.
Yeah, it's not quite so simple to get your head around.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the Grandmaster shows it in that little thing with
she shows it, but then I'm pretty sure at the end they break that rule, right?
In what way?
And how is old Steve there then?
Because he stayed when he went back.
Yeah, he stayed when he went back, but then he wouldn't be coming back to that reality. That would be a different
reality. That is actually
a
good point. That maybe it wouldn't affect... It would be a different time. You can't argue that. I guess any what's the word? Any dispute you have with the logic of it is fair game. But also, if you're fine with it, that's also fine, because when you're dealing with time travel, everything is just theoretical. So everything possibly works.
Absolutely, but if you've got a set of rules, right, you need to try and stick to those kind of rules and not just break it when it's like convenient for the story.
That's the one.
Now, and then that, I guess I don't want to fixate on this too much, right? But then if you are then traveling, so if you are going back into the past, right, and doing something, and then traveling back to your reality, so this isn't really time travel. Is this like traveling between realities?
I did actually think that in some ways you could argue that this was interdimensional if you're affecting a different thing. It's possible, but smarter minds than us will need to analyze it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be going on for years to come.
But anyway, we see Tony in his home, and I guess despite everybody else, suffering and going through all this pain, he's kind of lucked out. Penny's still there, and he's actually got a kid now, so he's actually living okay. He's better life than him.
He's doing things that you probably never thought he would do, right?
Yeah,
he's given up that whole lifestyle.
That's it. So he's not really too happy when everyone turns up on his door with this idea, because it's understandable. In some ways, he's selfish in that he doesn't want to go for their plan in the offset that he could fuck up what he's got. But at the same time, you have to kind of feel for him that he's got this kid now. Like, do you want to do something that's going to risk the existence of this child that you've got?
Exactly. So this is, again, you come back to the time travel bit, don't you? And you kind of try to... I always still at this point thinking quite linearly. So I'm thinking, does this mean if they go back and fix what's gone on, the child doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's just like trying to get yourself into that mind frame or mindset that that's not how this movie has been driven.
Yeah, so I was thinking, how are they going to do this then? But the whole point is to do the snap so that people come back at this point now that they're at, the 5 years later, which in itself, when you really think about it, will cause so much problems.
Oh, and you know what? I've got questions about that and the next Spider-Man film.
Yeah, that could be it, but we don't really know how many of his friends went, but think about
All
it.
of them by the looks of it, by the trailer.
Yeah, feel that. But think about it. Like, say that
Yeah.
you were married, your wife
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah.
You, for 5 years, you do your mourning, you get around it, and you meet someone, you fall in love again, you decide to get married, and now suddenly, your wife is back with the snap. How
And
the
she's 5 years younger than you are.
Yeah, but how the fuck do you navigate that now? It's like, okay, I still love you, but now I'm married to this other chick, like, fucking up so many people's
So
lives.
you're now married to 2 chicks.
Boy, it's a mess. So anyway, yeah, so Tony's like, yeah, fuck no. I will not help you, but, you know, the inquisitive mind just doesn't sit still, and he ends up going through what they were theorizing, and it works. He reckons it could work, and he just decides, fuck it, let's do this. If as long as we don't disrupt what we have. But, what did you think about the little thing where they were testing the machine with Pym, and he kept coming back as a baby and an old man?
Oh, yeah, again, that bit didn't really make sense to me, because, like, how were the different versions wearing the suit?
Yeah, because it was affecting him inside. But I think Tony said something about... I think it's all mumbo jumbo, I guess, at this point. But he was talking about how pushing time... Instead of travelling over time, you're pushing time through Scott. Which I don't think really works on a science
I
level.
think I'd probably have to watch that film again to understand that bit, because that bit just made no sense.
I think it was more just for the joke of it, really.
Yeah.
The visual joke.
Yeah. So I think that we just skipped over the bit where they go to meet Bruce Banner stroke the Hulk for the first time.
Oh,
'Cause obviously Tony's just turned him down.
yes.
Yeah.
That's a whole missing movie, man. That could be a whole thing right there. How he decided just to merge himself with Hulk.
Yeah, I kind of like that whole concept, really. I like the way they made him look literally like Bruce Banner.
Yeah, they really perfected that. He looks... 'cause
Yeah.
he's not as big as the full Hulk. He's a little smaller, but still. I like... Yeah, it's a way to kind of have him there more. Like, you get the actor to do the actor's thing, but you also still get the Hulk there. For people that felt like the Hulk was missing for a lot of Infinity War.
And didn't they go from, like, no Hulk in Infinity War to all Hulk?
Yeah.
And I guess this puts pay to all the bullshit rumours and stuff from the last movie. Oh, they don't have the rights to use the Hulk character anymore and all that. I don't know if you remember seeing a lot of that stuff last year.
No, what I heard, it wasn't that they didn't have the rights. It was just they couldn't make a solo film because of Paramount. So they could use the character, but they couldn't make its own...
Yeah, but I think last year there was like loads of stuff. People kept sending me stuff about, how there's a problem, they can't use them in the films, and I was like, come on guys, this is rubbish.
But he was in 2 films last year.
But I just love the way that, he was wearing clothes. I think he had glasses on at one point.
Yeah. I like it when the kids come up to him asking for the photo.
And he's like well into it, and Ant-Man's like, do you want to take my photo as well?
Yeah, hey, do you want Ant-Man's photo? Like, nah.
That got very awkward.
I like the way that the humour was done in this. Like, it wasn't full out slapstick jokes, the way that Joss Whedon's kind of sometimes came across. It seemed to
You
fit.
mean like, Thor Ragnarok?
Even that. Even though I still did love Thor Ragnarok, but it just seemed to be the right perfect tone.
Yeah.
So,
Surprised that they didn't want a picture with like Black Widow and Captain America, who were just sitting there as well.
yeah, I know. Kid, man. They just want the one that's visually impressive. So then they travel to New Asgard, which I think was definitely shot in like Scotland or somewhere, but I think it was supposed to be because the sign had like Norwegian or Swedish language, so I think it was supposed to be somewhere in like Norway or somewhere.
Yeah, because I can't. Is it in No, it's in the second Thor movie, isn't it? No, which one?
Ragnarok.
No, it's Ragnarok, isn't it? Where they have the discussion with the dad in the dream or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he talks about Norway being like a place to settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see this little town, but it's definitely Scotland though,
Yeah.
where they shot it. And you see Valkyrie again. It's nice seeing her back. And we get to see a very different version of Thor than we've ever seen before.
That was brilliant. That was just so funny.
Yeah.
The whole exchange. You know, the fact that like he's out of shape.
Yeah, dude.
He's just drinking.
When he came on screen, this whole cinema just gasped. All the female voices, all these women just went, oh!
The bit where he's like talking to that guy on the Xbox playing Fortnite.
Yeah. And that whatever, I forget the rock guy's name, but he's like, thank you very much. I love that Taika Waititi came back just to do those little voices, man.
Oh, that was brilliant, yeah. Absolutely superb.
And that weird bug thing sitting there eating pizza as well.
You know what? I've got a feeling we probably missed like one of the best lines of the movie. Probably, you know, where Tony is basically sees Rocket for the first time talk.
Oh.
And he goes, up until now, I thought you were like a Build-A-Bear.
I think I missed that.
Did you miss that bit?
Yeah.
That was probably the best line in the film.
Build-A-Bear, you know. Good. So yeah, 4, he's just PTSD, he's not really dealing with it well. As soon as they mention Thanos' name,
Yeah.
but then they mention there's beer on the ship, he's like, okay. I mean, fuck, jeez, he is really miserable. So,
well, I guess he's probably had it the worst, right? His whole planet's gone, half his people have gone.
Yeah, his brother's
He
dead.
failed. Yep.
I like that they managed to put Loki in this without Loki being in it, if you know what I mean. So,
Yes, yeah.
death matters. They kind of kept drubbing that home. When people die by natural means, that means they're dead. Which does have some implications for some other projects that are upcoming for Marvel, but we'll get to that
A
a little
whole
bit
bunch
later.
of them, right?
Yeah. So, let me switch over to Japan. They're looking for Hawkeye, aka Ronin.
So, would this be the most logical thing for a character to do? I've lost my whole family. I'm just going to go on a killing spree of criminals.
It does kind of make sense. It's kind of the Punisher logic of things, where why did my family, who are good people, have to disappear, but you're still here? And he's just kind of making them all pay for his grief. And it's a cool sequence, all like shot in one shot, as he goes through the buildings and they jump out the window with this, I guess, head samurai dude that he's chasing.
Yeah. I did like all the use of the neon lighting and all that.
Yeah, it gave a nice change of tone to the movie.
Yeah.
I did like it. It was really cool. And then Black Widow turns up, convinces him. It's like, well, I can't do this. You see what I've become. It's like, no, we can bring them back. We need your help. And yeah, he's a way more interesting character now.
And he actually was very. There wasn't really anything to dislike about his character in this film.
Yeah. Plus, he's not just using arrows now. He's got a sword. He occasionally uses guns. Like he's what he should have been doing from the beginning.
Yeah, and they do set up his character for what the audience think is happens at one point, but they end up going in a completely different direction.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. So, this is pretty much the end of the first third of the movie. It's definitely a movie of three parts.
Three act.
Yeah, the first act is very much the somber, dealing with grief. And now we're into like the time heist section of the movie. The sort of fun adventure part. So they're testing the time thing. We see Hawkeye go back. It's weird that they would send him back, especially to the farm. Because surely by him interacting with his family, which you know he would have tried to do if he saw them.
Well, didn't he volunteer to do it?
Yeah, but it was kind of... Why would they send him back to his farm, though?
So I guess he could verify that his family are there, right? So he could... absolutely gone to a point before.
Then it kind of almost messes up a whole separate timeline, that if he was to run and come in contact with his kids, then it would kind of traumatize them, that the dad suddenly disappears in thin air in front of them.
But he's an Avenger, so...
Yeah, weird.
He does give him a bit of leeway on that.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, so he comes back, it works. So the time heist begins. I like that they call it the time heist as well.
and their little whole explanation of how time works, right? And the whole, like, Back to the Future is, like, all live.
Yeah, basically.
And they start naming, like, all these movies.
Yeah, but it's true, though, because all those movies, including Terminator, they work on the basis that time is just a single linear line. It's like the Terminator.
Yeah.
Terminators were going back to kill Sarah Connor so that John Connor doesn't exist, and it changes their future, but yeah, that wouldn't have never worked. I never thought.
But that's how time travel works, Eddie.
In movies, I wonder
That's how the movies have told us it works.
even I've been watching a lot of the new Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11, and there's a scene in there with two Johnny Cages, a young one and an old one, and the young one
Right.
gets shot in the face, like it hits his cheek and the skims across. Then the old Johnny Cage suddenly has a scar on the side of his face, causing the young Johnny Cage to freak out like, "Our face! They scratched our face!" Because the movie started, don't forget. And it's like, yeah, I like the fact that it establishes though in this that no, it would not happen. But I guess we never really know until somebody does do it and then fucks everything up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So nice little seeing everyone sitting together, stuff in their faces. Everyone seems to accept Rocket Raccoon real quick.
Well, I mean, like, well, if you think about it, they go into space, they fight aliens, they've got a Hulk there.
I don't think I would ever get used to a talking raccoon, no matter how much. It's just madness. So yeah, they're figuring out where the stones are going to be, and they've realised that, oh, at one point in time, there's 3 stones in York at one point.
Yep.
And this is where the greatest hits aspect of this whole movie kicks in, where they go to... I knew that they were going to have the New York part from the behind-the-scenes stuff with the costumes. But I did not know that they were going to go to all these other points of the old films and just jump in. And it was like, yeah!
So, when you're watching this stuff, right, you're kind of looking at it and you're like, did this really happen? Is this new? Am I remembering the right film?
You probably haven't watched these that many times, though, have you?
Well, I've watched, I think, most of them at least more than once.
Yeah.
But it's like the bit where Captain America gets in the lift and you're kind of thinking, hold on, this is from the Winter Soldier. But it's not.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
Because, yeah. So there's things like that. And you're like, where are all these characters actually in that Avengers film?
They weren't, but I guess you have to presume that they were still working for
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. /
So
Hydra.
that's the bit I was thinking, like, did this happen in the film? Were these characters actually there?
Yeah. But I love that they managed to bring back Frank Grillo and all those guys. All the same actors, the same team, everybody.
This was like, they've even got, like, Robert Redford back for just for that little bit.
That was
This
crazy.
was like a master stroke of
Rene
just,
Russo as well. Jeez.
Is this just is this something that was built into their contracts? Is this something that these folks just love doing these movies, that they were all willing to come back? It wasn't like they just brought a handful of them back. There were so many people.
And I like that they managed to get... Tom Hiddleston always seems to have fun with these, so I like that he was willing to come back to do not much, but still enough. Ow, and even, what's the face? I forgot, what's the actress called? The one that from Doctor Strange?
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. I like that she come back so you could have that little time explanation.
And the fact that, because I think Doctor Strange is one that I've only seen once, but even the fact that she goes, Strange doesn't happen for 5 years.
Yeah.
So, like, she literally, like, knows everything.
He's still in a hospital performing an operation right now. But, yeah, it's cool. I like that little scene with her and Hulk, giving her the force punch that she gives him.
Yes, yeah. And then something that Strange says himself convinces her.
Yeah, that he gave it away.
Yeah.
It's like, he must have had a reason. Yeah, that was cool. That was real cool, man. We go back to Asgard. So, it's interesting that out of all of the 4 movies, they go back to The Dark World, one of the ones that, I guess, it's not as bad as everyone always gives it shit for being.
It's not that bad a film. It's a very enjoyable film.
Yeah. But I like it, because, Rene Russo's back as the mum. I guess the one person that didn't come back is believed to be Natalie Portman, because I think the footage of her is from the footage from the actual film, just her waking up.
I was wondering that, because she is credited. Her name does come up at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was wondering if that was footage or whether that was. Then I was thinking if it was actually newly filmed, we would have probably got a better shot of her.
Yeah, and you would have seen her get, Rocket. With her and Rocket, and sucking the whatever out, the ether.
She's obviously had enough of this universe.
Yeah. Way too pretentious for this stuff. So, we get a nice little thing with Thor and his mum gets to say goodbye. And this is probably more than Rene Russo's gotten to do, even in all of the 4 films.
Yeah.
Way more character development. We find out that she was raised by witches, all stuff that I never knew.
Yeah, nice little scene as well. And it's all done literally within like a minute or two, right? Like, straight to the point.
Dude, the amount of stuff they crammed into this film, man, it's so insane.
Yeah.
So insane. Thor's a mess, man. Just wants to drink himself away.
But that little speech gives him the impetus to continue, right?
Yeah. The mum does, yeah. Rocket doesn't help when Rocket slaps him, but his mum breaks through, finally. So we also go off. I can't remember the name of these planets. I'm not even going to try to remember. But we got Nebula and War Machine. Look, they're going to go grab Quill from the Guardians of the Galaxy intro where he's dancing around. I love that they redo that part with the music and then it cuts to their POV and it's just him just like a fucking idiot.
By the way, it's very difficult for me to watch anything with Don Cheadle and not see like his other womanizing characters that he's played over the years.
It's so mad that he plays those type of characters because he looks so ill. It looks like he's had chemo or something, man. He does not look in good shape.
But he's in that like House of Lies. He's in Black Monday, where he's just like this womanizer.
Yeah, that's so bizarre, man. Because he does not look like a womanizer at all. So yeah, we get to see something that we never got to see before of what Nebula, the past version Nebula, was doing. With what's her name? What's the other chick's name?
So Gamora.
Gamora, that's it. Yeah.
With her sister. Yeah, so all of this I was also really confused at. I was like, I'm sure this didn't happen in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nah, we didn't see this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to see them kind of behind the scenes. We're still working for Thanos. And something that caused some people to get confused, but really shouldn't, because if you own a mobile phone and you have a Google account, you should know that this can happen. If you have multiple devices and you're backing up to the cloud.
I'm saying, so you're saying this is a case of email being delivered to 2 devices because you're signed in on both?
It's more like notes, Google Docs, or Google Notes from 2 different phones, and there's a clash, there's a conflict of information on them.
Man, I'll tell you what, cell coverage out there must be great then to sync across like the galaxy like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, she's backing up to the cloud and there's a conflict. And they cross wires. It all makes sense to me. But you really feel sorry for Nebula, man. They did a good job of fleshing her out in this film.
Yeah, because you kind of forget like what sort of character she was like before.
Yeah. So, but then when this happened, I was like, oh shit. Thanos knows, like, what implications? I thought this was just going to be a smooth little thing. They go there, get their stones, and come back. Yeah. But nope. It has to go wrong.
So, it was a very interesting way for it to go wrong, really.
Yeah.
But he spent, like, how many years looking for those stones, and all of a sudden he's got the opportunity to...
get them all in one go.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And spin off a new reality.
Yeah. So we get to that part that we said with Captain America in the elevator.
Brilliant scene. Love this scene so much.
Yeah, like you're building yourself up for a fight, and I thought, are they going to do this fight again? We really got it, but then you see him. Don't worry, Hell Hydra. Yeah. Something which in the comic books caused a lot of people to freak out when they did that. So I guess that was a nod to it.
And just worked really well.
Yeah,
but then goes and runs smack bang.
Just walks. Oh, into himself.
Into himself, yeah.
This is after Loki's already disappeared from the lobby. After they lose the was it the? No, he's got the staff, so it's the Tesseract. Yeah.
Yes. So this is like. So there's one thing that seems to run throughout this movie, right? So we saw it at the beginning, and we see it here now. It's like basically foreshadowing what happens to Robert Downey Jr., right? So at the beginning, he's about to run out of oxygen and just wants to sleep. Yeah. Here they give him basically a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah, himself. It's kind of also... They've also fucked up this particular timeline because Loki has escaped with the Tesseract.
Into a new reality, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, God knows what the fuck he's doing. So I reckon his show, because he's getting one as well, probably picks up from this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
So, let me get this straight, right? So you can go back into your own past, take something, but then if change it in a way that it creates another reality for somebody else, not necessarily you.
Yeah, I think what was anchoring them so that they could return was probably those things that they had on their hands that was bringing them back. The quantum things. So I think that was their anchor.
Things or whatever they were.
Yeah. If they didn't have that, then I think they would have just been stuck there. Well, they wouldn't have been able to return back to their particular timeline, but no, theory.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, how do they always return back to their reality?
Yeah, I reckon it was that anchor, that thing that Hank gave them. But who knows? Who knows? So yeah, just when they think they gotten away, fucking Iron Man's running off with the spear, and then the Hulk comes bursting through the fucking door, knocking him out. That fucking made me laugh. So yeah, that fight though with Captain America versus Cap was a lot of fun.
When he chuckles to him, he goes like, "I can do this all day," and he goes, "I know, pal."
Yeah, I know.
And then when he looks at himself, he's like all knocked out, and he goes, "Yeah, that is America's ass."
Yeah, that's America's ass. So it's fun. But again, they also change another time thread here where he tells his younger me, Bucky's still alive.
Yep.
So what implication could that have had?
Oh yeah, but so I wonder if we'll see like an alternative reality show or something now at Disney.
Who knows? But I don't think he's actually going to get these people back though.
Yeah.
Probably not. So anyway, where we going? So we've skip ahead. Yeah, we got Thanos really getting deep into the story. He gets to see himself die. Finds out that he succeeds in his plan.
Yep.
And then finds out that he dies, but he seems to take it pretty well.
Well, I mean, I guess the man was setting out to accomplish something for the whole universe, not just for him, right?
Yeah. See, this is why he's the true hero of this movie. He's the true hero of Marvel, man. Because they actually there was a line in it where I think it was Cap and Iron Man were talking.
Yeah.
And they said that whales or dolphins have been seen off the coast of Staten Island. And they were showing that nature is correcting itself. Animals are coming back. No, I think it's Scarlet Witch, and she said, "Don't you dare try to find something good out of this." But they actually showed you, they told you that nature is actually, now that humans are gone, well, half of them, nature is actually fixing itself. So you actually kind of have to think that, was it, in terms of the planet, is it a bad thing? For the planet, at least?
It was a bad thing for the rest of humanity, though.
Yeah, but what's more important, humanity or the planet?
Humanity.
Yeah. So, yeah. Skippity. So, yeah, they knock out. We go to the Guardians of the Galaxy intro. Oh, no, that's another thing that happened. Before he jumps. Took Mjolnir, the hammer, from the Dark World.
Yes. Yep.
It's been a while since I've seen Dark World, so I can't remember whether there was a point in it where he lost the hammer or not, but isn't the Thor in that world going to need that fucking hammer?
So, yeah, because in Ragnarok, he doesn't have the hammer, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, that's because his sister broke it.
Oh, yeah, so that's right,
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, so that Thor's now fucked, doesn't have a hammer anymore.
Yeah, and the Dark World storyline hadn't finished yet. He still has to face the Dark Elves, but now he hasn't got a fucking hammer. Unless Cap gives it back when he goes back in time.
But it's almost like, does it really matter? Because it's not your reality that you're fucking up.
That's true, but by that logic, then what was the point of them sending the stones back to all the different times at the end? I don't know.
Because Banner promised to do that.
Only the Soul Stone. Or Time Stone.
Well, I mean, Tilda Swinton's character did say, like, basically, if they don't come back, then our realities will be fucked.
Yeah, Thor must be pissed, man. So anyway, yeah, they see them get the, I can't remember what this Guardians of the Galaxy stone was called.
Soul Stone, is it? No,
I don't think it was Soul Stone, I can't remember. But that sphere, that growing sphere. See Nebula to stick her hand in that, whatever the fuck it was, burning off her skin.
The Terminator moment.
Yeah, it was like Terminator, innit? The lava. It was cool, it looked cool.
Yep.
Damn, you just kind of think, like, what the hell? Like, she could have a whole movie of herself just to find out all the things that have been done to her, man. Like,
Oh, I'm assuming she's going to be like in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
That's true, but I want to see the intro. Like, what did she look like before all of these modifications? Real crazy. Yeah, so we see Thanos still fucking up. Future Nebula. And where we getting? All them people just scrubbing through. Oh, yeah, so now that they realise that they fucked a lot of things up, they decide we have to go back to 1970 to get that version of the Tesseract. And that's where...
So this is, I'm guessing this is something that we as viewers didn't know was a thing, right?
What was that?
It's just Tony basically knows that the Tesseract was there in the 70s, and the fact that they could get more of those rods.
Yeah, I think it was insinuated because at the end of Captain America, actually, when did the Tesseract get?
So the Tesseract is from the Thor movies, right?
No, it's from it was in Captain America, the first film. The Red Skull had it.
And then then it goes into the Thor film, is it? Because I remember Jane, or Natalie Portman's character, is like running after the Tesseract at some point.
In the Thor film? Oh,
yeah.
I can't even remember, you know. It's so fucking long. But, yeah, you know, whatever. So, yeah, but then we see Tony come face to face with his dad. Oh, and we also get a bait and switch. We see a Michael Douglas.
Oh, yeah, a very young Michael Douglas.
They have really de-aged. That de-aged technology. Have you seen that trailer for Gemini Man? The Will Smith one?
No.
Okay,
No.
you're going to have to watch this right after because it's Will Smith from now versus French Prince of Bel-Air Will Smith.
Right.
Who's his clone. And they've done the whole de-aging thing with him.
Right.
And it's throughout a whole movie, so I'm going to be fascinated how that holds up.
All right.
It's actually really interesting, so you can check it out. But yeah, they really perfected it with Douglas, man, because he looked, except for the voice.
I mean, they did that in you know, after having watched Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
it's just a thing now, isn't it? It's like I'm waiting for them to see this, to do it with like all sorts of like film actors from the 80s and 90s now.
Yeah. I think the one thing they didn't do though, they didn't change his voice. He still had this craggly old voice.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually notice that.
Yeah, but damn, it's never looked as good as this, man.
Yeah.
Damn impressed. But
and then also Cap has that little scene.
Yeah, where he's creeping on Carter. Agent Carter through the window. How the hell she didn't see him though? Come on.
And one thing here, so I did not know. Oh, and I probably completely forgot that the Russos obviously are originally from from Community, right?
Yeah.
And they go, almost all the Greendale 7 have now been in in the MCU films.
Except for three people.
Yeah.
I think the
Chevy Chase, probably I don't think it's been there yet.
I think Kel, the tall guy,
Yep.
he ain't been there, and the two women, the blonde and the brunette, those two. I think everybody else has been in it.
Right.
In the MCU, because the Korean guy was in the beginning bit.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Didn't say nothing though, so I'm surprised. Yeah. But yeah, Tony has a nice little heart-to-heart with his daddy. Why he calls himself Howard though, the same name as his dad, I have no idea, but yeah.
It's probably one of those things, right? You come face to face, and you probably can't think of anything to say at that point.
True. So now we switch back. We see that Nebula has decided to switch herself with the future Nebula by taking that little head plate thing. It's that simple. So when they kind of oh no, now we get to the fucked up part. It didn't hit me until I realised where they were and I saw Red Skull. It didn't hit me that where they were and what was going to happen. Because when I saw Red Skull, I was like, oh shit, no, somebody has to die in order for him to get the stone, innit? So Hawkeye and Black...
okay, fine. This is the Soul Stone that you're talking about now.
Yeah, Hawkeye and Black Widow were there to get the Soul Stone, and it's like...
Oh, so they did not think of that? Because obviously...
It wasn't
we saw that in the last movie.
Yeah, it wasn't until they got there that I realised that, oh, this is that place.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what's going to happen? It felt like...
And you kind of think it's going to be a Hawkeye, right? Because they go, you have to give up something that you love. So he'd be giving up his family.
Well, no, because it has. In order for that to happen, it's her that has to give up someone she loves, because she's the one that's receiving the stone. So they love each other because they're friends. They're like best friends, so it counts as you sacrificing the other one.
Oh, right. See, because I was thinking that the whole point of him, like, jumping would be that he would be giving up his family.
No, he should be gaining it. Which is why I thought he needed to live, because he wants his family back. So it made more sense that she would die.
He wants his family back, but he was willing to trade himself.
Yeah, he was.
For the stone, in order to get back. That's how I was thinking he saw it.
But the sacrifice has to be for the person who's receiving the stone.
Right.
I think. But yeah, anyway. But they fight over it, and neither one of them is willing to be the one. He's learned from the time in the first Avengers where she electrocutes him. He's got a bit of a chest plate now that he can wipe it off. But in the end, they're left there hanging at the edge after they both jump. And Black Widow decides, let me go. And she pushes herself off and falls.
So, just seeing that, right, which should be something that's fairly emotional, all you're thinking of is, hold on a minute, isn't there going to be a Black Widow movie?
So I can't think, but I always presume that it's going to be an origin film, because that's the only thing you need to know from Black Widow is where she came from, because she used to be bad, she used to be an enemy.
It is, but then it really does limit the potential for that sort of, like, series, doesn't it?
No, it's a film, not a series.
Well, yeah, but like I'm saying, if like the first film's successful, they're going to want to do a second and the third.
Yeah, I guess. It depends how far along they go with it, but yeah.
Unless they find a way to bring her back.
They could, in the world of superheroes, but I'd like to think that there's some level of integrity there where the fact that they were drumming it home so hard that you can't be undone. What's done has to be, they kept saying that all the time. You can't be undone.
Yeah.
So I think she has to stay, in this timeline at least, dead. But then again, Gamora came back as a past character in the modern, who's now just loose in the modern age, so who knows what they're going to do.
Yep.
But yeah, we get that little dramatic moment. It's very sad. Everyone's all mourning. And then they build a gauntlet. This is one thing which is a bit of a...
It basically contradicts what happened in the first film, right?
Contradicts what happened in Infinity War, because they had
to go through this ridiculous process
to build a gauntlet from
Didn't Thor have to kickstart some piece of machinery?
Yeah, there's a whole planet which is a forge.
Yeah.
With this massive elf, with Peter Dinklage, to build these weapons.
Yeah.
Whereas
Tony just builds one in his lab.
Yeah, just builds a glove to hold it in. So yeah, that's an issue. I give it that does contradict things a bit. And are you annoyed by this whole quantum expansion technology where things just grow and get smaller? Because the gauntlet.
Nanotechnology.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, man.
They've been doing it all the way through in the Iron Man films, though, haven't they?
Since the second or third one, yeah. Because I'm not a fan of this one where the costume has to just materialise out of nowhere. It's a bit too cheaty.
To be honest, with all the sort of things that are going on in these like superhero films,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't get too fixated on that.
Yeah, I guess.
You've literally got guys that can fly and jump and leap whole buildings and lift up cars.
Well, after them bitching about who should be the one to do it, which theoretically Thor should be perfectly capable of handling the gauntlet, but I guess because he's such a mess physically and the alcohol, mentally he probably couldn't handle it.
Are you saying that because he is a god?
Yeah. So he should be...
Is he an actual god, or is he just someone that can harness the power of lightning?
Well,
and they parade around as a god?
I guess they're just aliens, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, very, very powerful aliens at that. But yeah, he should be able to deal with it, but whatever. Hulk decides he's going to be the one. But while this is happening, evil Nebula decides to open up the gate while no one's looking, so that Daddy Thanos can come back to their time.
So this is the bit that I was a little bit confused on this morning. Actually, I didn't actually think about this while I was watching the film. So he's actually had to travel from the past into the future, right?
Yeah, she opens the gate.
So, but then does that mean he's traveling from the past into the future, and essentially, if he's successful and he does another snap, it's not his original reality, but he could just stay in the future.
Yeah, it stays in the future, I guess. There's no reason for him to go back. He's got all the stones here.
Yeah.
Plus, his whole plan now, like he says, when he's sitting outside, is to just destroy everything and to start from scratch in all life.
That's true, actually. Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter where he is. But Hulk,
Yes.
you know, despite a bit of burning and his clothes shriveling up, he does the snap, and then we see that Hawkeye's phone starts ringing. His wife's on the other end. The Ant-Man notices that there's birds flying outside. Which I like that they established that it was also animals. Half of all animals disappeared as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I think they did allude to that in the first film, but they don't really explicitly say it, do they?
Yeah.
Because all of half of all life. Hold on. You know the fact that Thanos had to come from the from the past into the future?
Yeah.
He didn't have one of those rods, right? But he's managed to bring an entire spaceship with him.
Yeah, they kind of cheat it a bit.
Yeah.
'Cause he
I think that's the bit that confused me.
Because the ship you see it come through the gateway, but it kind of comes through small, and it expands as it goes up, and it goes through the roof.
Yeah, and it's not only his ship, is it? It's his entire, armada.
Oh yeah, the Armada comes later, innit? I didn't forget about that. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck that was going on.
Because there was just so much going on at that point, and you kind of skip over it. But as you start to think about it, you're kind of like, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah, but we only see the ship come through the gateway at that point, and it destroys the whole contraption because it blows through the roof.
It's
yeah. So where did the Armada come from?
So he doesn't use the glove to bring his Armada, does he? Because that doesn't make sense. He would just use at that point, he would just kill everyone.
Yeah, where the fuck did the Armada come from?
Yeah, unless that's the Armada of the future.
But why would they be there?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to think of how they get around that.
We found a
Cause
hole.
That's quite a big plot hole.
That is the most genuine plot hole out the whole thing. That one. Well, anyway, the ship fires down on the Avengers building, flattening the whole thing.
Yep.
Not killing Gamora though. I mean, Nebula. Surprisingly, she manages to avoid all that. But yeah, this is where the last half of the movie.
It doesn't actually kill anyone because they all survive, don't they?
Yeah, amazingly. Amazingly, they all do. It's crazy. Is there no one else in this? Is there no security guards in this building? No people serving in the canteen?
It's the old Avengers building, right, isn't it, that they're in?
Yeah, there should be a canteen though. There should be people there.
Well, there's probably no one there since the snap.
When you go there, who's in the lobby? Is there a secretary? What's up?
It's all nanotechnology, isn't it? It's all
robots.
You don't need people. It's all automated. It's the future.
Yeah. So Thanos sits down, says, "I'm gonna wait. You go get me the gems, the
Which
Infinity
just seems
Stones."
like a really silly thing, doesn't he? He's the most powerful being in the universe.
What?
Why just sit there?
Just want to sit and
unless
wait.
it was his grand plan was they're going to bring it to me.
Oh, why should he? He's got he's got his daughter there. He doesn't want to dig through the rubble. It's like, yeah, you get it. So we see Gamora, who's feeling a little guilty now. Doesn't really like what's going on. She goes to visit the future Nebula. The future Nebula seems to convince her pretty easily. Pretty much to saying that we were enemies, but now we're friends. We become sisters. And that seems to be enough.
Well, in times of war.
Yeah. So that's when everybody notices, oh, Thanos is outside. They don't seem to be that surprised though to see him. Because when they killed him, he just come through time. Aren't they a bit surprised? How the fuck did he get here?
Oh yeah, actually they don't have much of a reaction to that other than the fact that they've got to go out and do battle with him.
Yeah, it's like he's just sitting there. It's a trap, but, who cares? So, that's when we get... That's when Thanos tells his plan about how he's just going to wipe everything out and start from scratch. How his plan was failed because people couldn't move on because they had the memory of what was. So now they needs to undo that so no one knows or remembers anything.
So at this point, Hulk's put on the gauntlet, right? And he snapped his fingers.
Yeah.
And he's brought everyone back.
Yes.
So at this point, I guess... I was thinking somebody else could literally put that gauntlet on, right? And just either snapped everyone away, or gone back in time to like just take the gauntlet away from Thanos.
Yeah, they've kicked the gauntlet aside at this point, so it's still kind of just Hawkeye hasn't grabbed hold of it yet.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye's running around with it.
Yeah. So we get a nice little fight here with Iron Man, Thor, Fat Thor, and Cap. It's just Thanos is awesome, man. I love him. Poor guy. True hero. Just bullying this man. This great man. Just the three of them. Horrible.
This man who is basically trying to kill all life in the universe now, Eddie.
Yeah. So maybe it's not perfect plan.
Few kinks to be worked out.
Yeah, a few kicks. So like you said, Hawkeye's running around being chased by these weird little dog beast things through the tunnels of the Avengers building, while everyone else is trapped. Hulk and Rocket Raccoon, they're like trapped under the rubble. And then something happens here. This is where we go back to the fight. Thor loses his hammer, and then we get a moment which caused my cinema to go crazy. You see the hammer slowly move, and it raises up. And you're thinking, is the hammer floating up on itself, or is someone lifting it? So this is while Thor's about to get his chest caved in by his own axe, by Thanos. And then suddenly, whack, the hammer flies into shot, flies back, and then you see it get caught by Captain America, who we knew was worthy all along.
So, I don't understand this, because isn't there a scene is it in the first or the second Avengers movie where they're all trying to pick up the hammer?
In Ultron.
In Ultron.
Yeah.
But they have that game, right? And I'm pretty sure Captain America tries to pick it up as well.
Yeah, and it moves. That's the thing. And you see, that was what was funny about that scene, is that he picks it up and the hammer moves slightly.
Right.
And Thor, he cuts the Thor's face and he's like, what the fuck? But then something happens that distracts everybody afterwards. So I guess that was like a tease to show that Cap is a man of pure intentions.
Gee, so you think they had that worked out all the way back then?
I don't think that they knew this was going to happen here, but
yeah,
I guess it was always the theory that he was good enough. Other people have picked up the hammer before in the books, though, so it's not.
So I was going to say, it's not from the comics, is it? Like Captain America picking up the hammer?
I don't know if him specifically's had it, but other people have picked it up before. Because all you have to be is a pure of heart. That's all it is, really.
Right.
Just worthy. So yeah, so he gets the
Peter
hammer.
Parker, in theory, could pick it up then.
Hawkeye.
No, Peter Parker.
Possibly.
Pure of heart.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yep.
So we get so I like it. I like seeing Cap fighting with the shield and the hammer. It's like a cool visual. Cause he literally. What I don't like. This is a nerd in me. Is when he starts using lightning. He shouldn't be able to do that. That shouldn't be able to be a thing. Because the lightning is for specifically. Because we saw Ragnarok that even when he didn't have the hammer, he could still use the lightning.
Oh, you know what? I must have completely missed the lightning there.
Yeah. Like, the Cap holds the hammer out and lightning comes from it, and he holds it up in the air and lightning bolts come down, and it's like, what are you doing? You ain't supposed to be able to do that. But, nitpicking, blah, blah, blah. But Thanos, being the man of righteous good that he is, defeats all three of them. And then, that's when his Armada turn up. God, you've really got it in my head now. Where the fuck did this Armada come from? Was that mothership so big that it had all of this in it? Is that
it can only be that this is the Armada from that time. So when his ship's got there, he's called his boys in.
No, because we see his kids, and they died in Infinity War. They were killed.
Oh right. Okay, yeah. Then that is.
Yeah. So this they must have come from that one ship. Then the ship must have been that big. Yeah. But yeah, they all pile out. We see them on the horizon. There's thousands of them. Cap gets up on his own. He stands up to them. And we see that big wide shot, which is beautiful in IMAX, man. This whole film was shot in IMAX, by the way. So if you're going to see it, you haven't seen it, why are you listening to this? But whatever. It's worth going to see it in IMAX, man, because you see a lot more. But yeah, we see Cap just facing off against the whole thing. Beautiful shot. And then suddenly, you just hear... What was that thing that you said? On your 6? On your left? And the doorway...
What did you say?
Yeah, the Falcon, what he always says to him.
Oh, right, okay.
He sees it through his earpiece, and suddenly a doorway opens up. And then Black Panther and his two, his sister and his other chick walk through.
Yep.
And that calls everyone to... Everyone's like, yay! What's it about? And
then you just see, it's like, I think this might just simply be the most epic moment in like all of cinema history.
Yes, but I was fingers crossed that something would happen that didn't end up happening. The Russos spoke that when they went into do Infinity War in this, they wanted to bring everybody into it.
Yeah.
Not just from the movies, but they wanted to bring through the Netflix guys as well.
Right.
So I was hoping that if there was ever a moment that would happen, this scene where we see everybody, Spider-Man, Guardians, Doctor Strange, everyone comes in, it would have been so beautiful to see like an Iron Fist and a Daredevil also jump into the mix.
Yeah,
But
they're not allowed to use those characters at the moment at all.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Netflix thing is dead. It's done. The shows are cancelled.
Yeah, but it's in their contract, and they're not allowed to do anything with those characters for up to 2 years.
It's just such a bullshit thing, man. It just annoys me so much because this would have been so beautiful to have.
But they didn't bring in like the guys from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They did bring one TV actor through though. Did you notice?
Yeah, so I only saw her name in the credits. I didn't actually see her. You're talking about Kobe.
Kobe? No, because she's from the films.
Oh, she's from the film. So
Yeah,
who are you talking about from the...
Yeah. Basically, when we go back to 1970 with old Tony, with the Tony Stark's dad,
Yeah.
Jarvis.
Well, no, Jarvis is not from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though, is he? He's from...
Agent Carter.
The other, Agent Carter, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one TV actor that they had, that they brought through, because he wasn't in the films. So they... Damn, so why couldn't they have at least brought Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
But you know what? Hold on a minute. So if that was Howard Stark, right? And they had the character from Agent Carter, because there was a different different actor that played Howard Stark in that series.
No, they did different ones in the film. It's the guy from Preacher. He played Howard Stark in Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in one of the films as well. Was in the first.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but
So,
they had Jarvis there, so they could have had Quake. She would have fit in this, not any of the others, but bastards, come on, man. But yeah, the war begins, and this is crazy, man.
That was just that literally most epic thing I've ever seen. You know, there's that scene in Ready Player One where you just see everyone doing the assault.
Yeah.
That was such a soulless movie, right? That I just had no feeling. But watching this,
goosebumps. Just that cavalry moment, man. That goosebumps.
Absolutely, it's like that moment in Lord of the Rings, in that second one.
Yeah.
Where the bit I'm talking about, where the elves just turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was nice seeing what's the face, Pepper Potts as well in her suit.
Yep.
So cool, seeing her back to back with Iron Man. So cool. And then
just a little exchange of like dialogue between like Doctor Strange and one of these boys, where they were like, "Who else do you want to bring?"
Yeah, or Wong or whatever his name is. But yeah, we see Spider-Man as well reunited with Iron Man, and he's like, "Oh, you know what's been happening? Like, we disappeared, and then suddenly it's been 5 years." And I think he just hugs him, and he's like, "Oh, this is nice." It's such a strange relationship those two have got. And then another little reunion with Quill when he sees Gamora, but it's not his Gamora, so she doesn't really know who the fuck he is.
Yeah. And then she knees him in the groin, not once but twice.
And she goes to Nebula, what, this guy? This guy, really? She's like, yeah, it's either this or a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really bring Groot back. He's in this, but they don't show him come back. There's no, like, reunion with him and Rocket.
I think there's a very, very quick shot, isn't there, at some point where they're, like, on the floor together.
Yeah. They didn't really... it's a bit of a... Maybe they cut it. Maybe they shot it, but didn't use it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this shit was epic, man. Just
and you know what? I really dislike massive, bloated, really long CGI battles, but this thing, like, it was just 20 minutes of, like, on the edge of your seat.
Glorious. They basically play American football or rugby with the Infinity Gauntlet.
And the fucking touchdown is trying to get to the back of that bloody van.
Yeah. But I love it where Peter gets to use kill mode with his suit, finally. Which you saw from the first film. Yeah. And it's just stabbing all of the soldiers around him, all of the aliens. It's crazy.
That whole sequence is just mental, isn't it?
Beautiful. And then Scarlet Witch gets her revenge, kind of, a little bit.
But this is it, right? Because it's like you forget, because you've been so invested in the characters that have been in this movie so far, you forget that there are all of these characters.
Yeah, they just drop in. It's just like, oh. She's like, you took everything from me. It's like,
and then at that point, you're watching that and you suddenly realise, oh, hold on, Vision died. And then you're thinking, hold on, isn't he supposed to be in like a TV show?
Again, like, where WandaVision, what timeline is that going to take place in then? Is it going to be during the period where they were on the run? Before Infinity War?
Do they just embrace the whole, these ultimate alternative dimensions?
Possibly. But we never actually saw them properly get together, did we? Because it was all happened off screen from when they were on the run. So maybe that's the period we see. Maybe. Or maybe she tries to bring him back somehow. God knows. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, Wanda gets to do her thing. And now, Uz and Ash were complaining that she should have just been the big cavalry, that they didn't really need Captain Marvel. Yeah. But then what kind of...
At this point... So aren't you just sitting there at this point and thinking, where is Captain Marvel? Like,
yeah,
you couldn't... she's just absent from the whole film.
Yeah, you couldn't have had it be Wanda, because they have to set up for... Because Captain Marvel's supposed to be the new leader after this, for the next phase. So I guess they had to have her be kick-ass in this. They had to give her that rub. So she needed to be the cavalry in this, man. It made sense. So yeah, she does come down after we see the ship shoot off into the horizon. They're like, what are they shooting at? And then suddenly you just see the ball of fire come down from the sky. And the lesbian trucker punches through the ship.
That was a fairly epic moment as well, actually. Regardless of what you think of, like, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Actually, just like,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I'm into it. And then she has that little thing with Peter. It's like, he's sitting there in a hole, he's holding the gauntlet. You got something for me? And then it just turns into what happens? Oh, Thanos gets hold of the gauntlet somehow. What? How did he get it? I can't remember. Oh,
I think there was a whole sequence, wasn't there, of Spidey. Then I don't know why Captain Marvel just didn't take it and tried to take it back to wherever it's supposed to go.
She did. She grabbed the gauntlet off of Peter and she starts flying to the. Oops, sorry. She starts flying to the fan. And she's got all of the... What did you think of all the women assembling? The A-Force?
I think they were making a statement there, really, weren't they?
Yeah. There are women around me that just groaned. It shows you that this shit don't work sometimes, man, because the women are like, oh, God.
Yeah, that's because they're probably thinking, oh, they've got all those pretty women on the screen all together.
Well, just
they got a real woman looking adequate.
Trying too hard, I think, to appease the female audience. But anyway, Cap grabs the gauntlet, flies towards the van, but then Thanos throws his sword. And it hits the van and explodes, so boom, fuck that. And then he gets hold of the gauntlet after that. Because Captain Marvel loses it. And then they get into a nice little exchange. And I like that he didn't necessarily defeat her, but he manages to kind of, knock her off aside.
Yeah.
That was good. Because I was worried that she was just going to be too powerful and just kind of just over in a blink of an eye. I guess it shows you how powerful he is. He even headbutts her, but that doesn't do anything. Doesn't even mess up her hair, which is fun. But she nearly beats him. She goes to bend back his fingers and he pulls out one of the stones and then uses it to zap her off.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool little thing, actually.
Yeah, and then that's when Doctor Strange looks at Peter. No, not Peter. Stark holds up that one finger to show that this is the 1 out of 14 million.
Yeah.
That this is it. So he decides, okay, let's go for the Hail Mary. And he grabs hold of the gauntlet before Thanos can do the click.
Oh no, he doesn't grab hold of the. Oh yeah, he grabs hold of the gauntlet. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then Thanos kicks him off. Tries to do the click.
You really have to suspend belief now.
Yeah, he tries to go. He goes for the click. Nothing happens. Yeah. Everyone laughs in the cinema. Looks at the gauntlet. No stones.
Yep.
And then we go to Peter and we see the stones slowly moving up the glove into the fist. And then we also remember that humans can't handle this. They can't handle one fucking stone. So how the fuck does he have all of these stones, man?
So Tony's just made another glove, right, on the fly.
Yeah, which is a leap of... Yeah.
And again, basically, like, you know, making a mockery of what happened in Infinity War.
Yeah. But he does the snap. And does everybody, all of Thanos' army, Ash, turns to Ash. Get their own treatment. Love it.
Everybody when he goes, I am Iron Man.
Yeah, that was nice too. Kind of going back to the very first film when he, in the press conference at the end.
Yeah.
And Thanos sees it all, realizes, my great plan has fallen. I like that he's the last one though to ash up.
Yep.
Very poetic. He gets to sit down. The hero of these movies defeated.
Done,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, gone. And then we see Tony fucked up. All kinds of fucked up.
So we kind of, I guess a lot of us suspected that this was going to happen.
Yeah. Kept saying he had to die, man. He needed to go.
Yeah.
11 years, man. I don't expect him to do this.
I reckon he would have probably loved to carry on doing it because he seems to genuinely love these films. You can see it in his performance.
He just has fun with it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get everyone saying their goodbyes, and Pepper's the last one. Kind of swipes away Spider-Man because he's kind of hogging all the death time. It's like, dude, this is my husband. Get the fuck out of the way. And then she tells him it's gonna be alright, just relax. And then the light goes off on the chest. Iron Man is dead. Poetic. It needs to happen. A lot of people say that Cap should have died. I think Ash was saying that. But I think the way that Cap ended in the end, I think it's more poetic to his character.
Yeah, so I think you are absolutely right there because that's when Tony passed, when Tony dies, you kind of think, is he the only character that's going to go? Surely there would be another one of the other bigger actors to go, right? So, and you're right. I do like the way they've done Captain America. They didn't just kill him.
Yeah.
They did something different with him.
Yeah, and I think it's rewarding if you love that character and you followed it all this time. Yeah. It's rewarding to see that he managed to have that life that he never got, that was taken away from him.
I will tell you now, I was holding back the tears watching him and Peggy together. That was a very emotional scene. That was like, literally, this man has been to hell and back, and finally he's getting to have, like, the life that he wanted.
Yeah. Finally gets to lose his virginity. Problem is, what happened to the granddaughter of Peggy that he was dating?
So, there's so many questions here, right? So what happened to whoever Peggy ended up with?
That too. That poor guy's future has completely been...
Yeah.
Because they had kids. That means that the granddaughter or grand auntie or whatever she was, possibility she doesn't exist now because Peggy...
but it's a different reality, so that girl does exist, right?
Oh dear. Because they said that she had kids with this other guy that she married. So now...
It all happened. They all happened.
In a different time. Yeah, it's...
it happened in this timeline, right?
What
happens to Cap? That's a different timeline, right?
Such a clusterfuck. That's time travel, man. What the hell? So mad.
So the only logical way that this works at the end, that Cap comes back, is that he's used... You know, he was supposed to use those rods or whatever they were for his return journey.
Yeah.
He's used them at some point when he's an old man.
An old man. But then he should have come back on the platform, though.
Oh, pothole.
Yeah, he didn't come back on there. He was waiting.
Oh, right. So he either comes back on the platform, or they've like not adhered to their own rules.
Weird. But anyway, so you see the little funeral for Iron Man, for Stark. We see all the characters.
Yeah. Everyone almost. Right?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy guys don't bother wear suits, which is rude. Kind of makes them stick out. And there's one character that a lot of people were like, who the fuck is that? This one...
the little kid?
Yeah, the one teenage boy. And it was like, yeah, that was the kid from Iron Man 3.
From Iron Man 2? Iron Man 3.
From 3, yeah. Looks completely different. A lot of people were like, who the fuck is that? But, yeah.
I'm assuming that Kobe Smulders was in there somewhere, because he was credited.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she must have been in the funeral, yeah.
I think so. I think she was there. Yeah, she was there. She was there.
And then you see Nick Fury like walking at the end.
Yes. And they're really leading into this whole lesbian thing with Captain Marvel, you know, because even with the suit she's wearing,
Yeah.
it's like a full-on like male trouser suit. They might actually do that with their character, you know, just full-on lesbian thing. I wouldn't be surprised. Not a bad thing, but you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we see a nice little moment with Rhodey and Tony's daughter talking about she wants hamburgers.
Yep.
That was nice.
Yep.
Then 4 anoints Valkyrie to be the new queen of Asgard and New Asgard, which is interesting. I'm sure some Nordic enthusiasts weren't too happy with that. What the fuck? You want this mixed race chick to be the queen of North? What the? Yeah, but you know.
Not only is she a chick, but she's a mixed race.
Yeah, I know that here, but yeah, that has happened. So that'll be interesting wherever they go ahead with that. But what I love from this scene is that he ends up going with the Guardians. You get that fun scene on the ship where it's like, I'm in charge. Oh, sure you are.
So I'm assuming he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I have to assume, but then I heard that they were using the what's it, James Gunn script, which he wrote nearly a year ago now.
Yeah, but they must have known because obviously they filmed this. Obviously, they filmed all this movie like 2-3 years ago, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he probably must have known.
Yeah, so that's all built in.
So,
and there's the thing at the end. So I know there's been some people have been talking about whether the Gamora got snapped or not.
No, because she changed sides. So no, because he was looking for her on the computer.
Yeah, but Tony doesn't know that though. Yeah, because that's it. See, he was looking for her on the computer. Absolutely, that's what I was going to point out.
Yeah.
But if you go like on like lots of forums and stuff, people have been going, "Well, how does Tony know?" All Tony would have said is like, "Snap away all of like all the bad guys or all of Thanos' fleet."
Anyone who's loyal to Thanos, and then because she turned sides and. Maybe, so it makes sense that she didn't go, but it looks like she just legged it.
I think she hasn't. Yeah, I think they literally put that thing in the fact that they're searching for her.
Yeah.
As I say, no, she's still around.
So she's run off somewhere, I guess. Yeah. She's got no attachment to these lot except Nebula.
Yeah.
So she decided, boom, out. But it instantly makes Guardians 3 so much more exciting to know that Thor's going to be there with them, man.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So we get that scene with, like we said, with Cap going back in time and then coming back as an old man. But then he gives, even though in the comics, by succession, it's supposed to be after Cap dies, Winter Soldier becomes Captain America, and then it's Falcon. But in this, they go straight to Falcon.
I was wondering that. I was thinking, is Bucky going to be like the next Captain America? Is he going to like start that franchise? Because does seeing Falcon...
Yeah.
As Captain America, does that excite you for the next Captain America movie?
It doesn't, if I'm honest.
It doesn't. But if it was Bucky...
They really shortchanged Bucky in this. He really didn't, even in Infinity War, he really didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah. Apart from just being like some muscle.
Yeah. Which is weird because he's a Russo's... Because they did Winter Soldier, didn't they? So we would have thought they would have been excited to really kind of give him stuff, but... Yeah. But, we'll see how it goes. But, Falcon, I guess, now is the new Cap. So I guess that makes the Winter Soldier Falcon series kind of interesting. They're side-by-side adventures.
Hold on, say that again?
The Disney Plus, that's one of the shows. Winter Soldier.
That one of the... Oh, right. So there's not going to be a Captain Falcon, Captain America movie.
No.
It's going to be a TV show.
It's a TV one, yeah.
So is there going to be? So there's going to be no further Captain America movies.
I'm sure something will happen at some point, but for now it's Winter Soldier and Falcon together, side by side adventures.
Oh right.
So it could be fun, you know.
So you've got WandaVision, you've got the Loki show, and then you've got the Captain Falcon and Bucky show,
and you've got the Hawkeye show,
and the Hawkeye show,
which I believe is supposed to have his daughter with him as well, because she becomes Hawkeye in the comics as well. So, I'm not sure whether it's going to switch forward where she's a bit older or... So, that'll be interesting.
Right.
So, we see Cap dancing with Peggy, which is real nice. And we see right at the very end, after it goes to black, we hear like clanging of metal, which I think most people tend to think was a tip of the hat tribute to the very first Marvel movie, which is Iron Man building the first Iron Man suit in the cave.
All right.
I think that's what most people think it is. So, yeah, and there we have it.
Yeah.
The end of Phase 3, the first saga.
So I just one thing I just remembered. Obviously, there was the Stan Lee cameo in there.
Yeah, make love, not war. When he's in the 70s. Yeah.
I've got a feeling they're all going to be very much like that from now on for the ones that they've recorded. Right? Probably don't integrate very well into the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it feel? So this is like, you know, we've had cinema for like almost 100 years, right? And this is the first time we as an audience have experienced anything like this, right? Something that goes across like 23 films. Yeah,
it's a decade. It's immense, man. A decade-long journey.
That's even crazier, right? 23 films in a decade.
It's so mad. I was actually thinking, like, I was envious. Imagine if you were 10 years old when you first watched Iron Man.
Yeah.
You're 21 years old now. You could have kids watching this with them. That is so mad. It's like how we think of, like, Back to the Future and Terminator and all those films we saw when we were kids. That's the sort of adventure. They've had this. We never really had that. They've been able to be in this world for all this time, growing up. It's an amazing journey with a satisfying end.
So do we know anything about the next phase? Or is it a continuation? Are they going to reboot it? Are they...
No,
they've not really... We don't know anything other than the fact that there's a Spider-Man movie, there's a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah, the Guardians is still going. Spider-Man... Apparently, Feige said that Spider-Man is the official full stop on this whole, line, saga, whatever, this phase. But yeah, we know that Captain Marvel is supposed to be the new leader. She's the new Iron Man,
right.
So it is a continuation. So it's not a reboot, it's just continuing. So there are new characters, but I'm worried now because that's not... it doesn't get me excited to know that she's kind of shepherding the whole thing. She's not a great character, and as much as important as Black Panther was for like the diversity of film, the Black Panther character, I don't like how it's portrayed because he has the same problem for me that I have with Cap. Is that he's just not very empathetic. He's very cold and stone-like, which, we don't, except for Ant-Man, we don't really have that much charisma in the next generation of characters.
That's true, actually.
You get me? Everyone's kind of just stoic and playing with your washing machine.
No.
So yeah, it's just I don't know what they're gonna do, man.
It's you are actually right. So a lot of those like characters that they've now got don't really have that fun factor like Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah, even I know Cap can be very self-righteous and serious, but yeah, at least he's still got that certain amount of that charisma. God, leave your bloody washing machine alone. God, so final thoughts then.
Final thoughts. It was. So, did you think this was better than Infinity War?
I think it felt more satisfying, but at the same time, I did love how Infinity War ended as well. I don't know. No, I think this was more, like I said, more of that because it had all the time travel, the whole greatest hits element of this. Yeah, I think I'll give this the edge.
So you thought this was a better movie? Because the consensus online seems to be Infinity War was a better film.
Because it's more action-packed. It's not as long, and it's just more... Yeah, it's just more action, really. Which I get.
Infinity War.
It's more of a fun action movie, but... I don't know, this has more of a... It resonates more with me. It's more emotional.
Are you going to go and see this again?
Oh, I might do. I've got some time off. I may do.
Yeah, because we've got Bank Holiday weekend coming up, so I might try and watch Infinity War and then go and see this again.
Oh, back to back. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I think I've got the Friday off as well, so I could actually do that.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched Infinity War, actually, so...
Well, I saw it at the cinema. Even though I bought it, I haven't actually seen it again.
Oh, okay. So, what do you rate it?
So I would say this
How
is
many
very
Infinity Gauntlets Well,
I think this would easily be 4 gauntlets.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 5, purely for the fact that this shouldn't have been possible.
I don't know if I would give it a 5 because I really hope that when I watch it again, especially when you watch it at home, that it doesn't suffer from slow pacing.
I think it probably will in the first hour, maybe. But even though it's not my favourite Marvel movie, like I had more fun with things like Ragnarok and a few others. And Civil War I liked a lot. But I don't know, I think because of just the sheer technical aspect of how they managed to connect and weave and tie up loose ends, a few plot holes aside, I have to give it 5, man. I have to give them the credit for just doing something that's really impossible.
Oh, absolutely. From that technical perspective, the casting, the whole just bringing this entire saga to an end, absolutely spectacular. I was kind of thinking maybe I should go with a 4.5, but I'm just worried that on repeat viewings it might not hold up.
And God, thank Disney for willing to let them go almost 3 hours with this, because if they told them you got to lose an hour, that would have affected this movie insane.
Oh, absolutely. Can you just imagine all the stuff that's probably sitting on the cutting room floor?
Jesus, yeah. Damn lot. They probably would have ended up cutting out most of the first hour, though, to be honest. The stuff that most people feel is the slow part. But, still good. Yes, 5 from me, 4 from you. A lot of fun.
Lots and lots of fun. If you haven't seen it, well, we've just spoiled the entire movie for you.
Literally, almost in real time.
Yeah.
Jeez. So, before we get out of it, what other things you want to mention?
So, I know we've been going quite long, actually. I didn't expect us to go on for this long, but this week I've been binge-watching Cobra Kai Season 2.
I was going to sit down to binge-watch it, but then I realised that, it's not all up for free. It's only the first episode again, so I'm going to have to look for my alternative.
Oh, is it not?
No, I have to look for my alternative means.
I thought they were going to be showing it with commercial breaks.
Wasn't what?
Because there was that whole story about how they no longer want to do premium stuff.
Yeah, it says premium when I went on YouTube.
Oh, right, okay. Watch it. We'll discuss it next week then.
Yeah. So, how much have you seen? All of it?
Oh, I've seen all 10 episodes.
And? Compared to first season?
So, I think the first season is a better season. There's something about this season, and I think it's probably the story that they're setting up. I don't want to say too much, but it's like, obviously, John Kreese is back.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of like... Well, actually, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for you.
But
I thought Season 1 was better.
Okay.
But that's not to say Season 2 is bad.
Okay. Alright.
Yep. I also watched season final of The Orville, right? That season final shits all over the season final of Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, really?
Great in height. In fact, it's almost like diarrhea.
Jeez, not bad.
It was very, very good. Because what they do, it's almost like it's a two-parter, but it builds on the entire season.
Wow.
So if you haven't seen all of season 2 and just go in and watch the final episode, it probably doesn't make great sense. But they literally, everything that happened in every episode up until that point builds on that last episode.
Okay, I've got a few days, so I can catch up on some stuff, man. So yeah, I'm gonna catch up with Orville.
Forget about everything, just do the Orville first.
Do Orville, catch up on Star Trek. Try squeezing some Cobra Kai. I want to do some Doom Patrol as well. Alright, got a busy day next week.
Yep.
Okay then, boys, that's it. So where can they find more of you, more?
Guys, so if you want to email us, we are at tatmpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to tweet at us, we are at TalkingMovies3. And if you want to post mine or see our Instagram account, we're at TalkingMovies3. Or Talking at the Movies, sorry. That's
right. Don't forget to check out all the rest of the Voltron Network shows. You want another review from DC/Marvel fans, then go for the DC versus Marvel podcast with boy Ash and Uz. I think they're a little more skeptical on this than we were.
I think theirs will probably be a very, probably more highbrow than ours.
Yes.
Professional comic book guys.
Indeed. And you can check out Wrestling Ruckus with my boy me and Ryan, talking all things pro wrestling. And there's also Bolly Falls is up now. So there's a couple episodes of those out, so go check out if you miss Asylum. He shall be back eventually. And that's pretty much it. So from me to Reese.
And from Mo.
See you guys next week.
See you, folks.
Bye.